Welcome everyone to ABC Interactive English. I'm your host, Nina.
And I'm Matt.
And today we're talking about the book clubs of today. Speaking of books, do you have like a favorite book that you read all the time, or do you like reading books?
I don't read very often anymore. I found I used to read a lot, especially when I was traveling and I was on like a long train or a long flight somewhere.
Yeah.
And, didn't have, back in those days, because I'm pretty old, I didn't have a smartphone, so I couldn't watch movies or things like that.
Yeah.
So the only option to entertain yourself was to read. And I had one favorite book that I read while traveling, which was called Shantaram, and it's a book that takes place in India. And I actually read it while I was traveling in India, taking lots of long buses and trains.
Oh, that is actually so cool. So do you think it would be something that you would be interested in to like sit down with some friends who read the same book and talk about it?
Maybe it would. I've never done that like in a formal way, but while I was traveling in India, I did meet a lot of other people who had read the same book or who were reading the same book, and it was interesting to talk about that with them while I was traveling.
Okay, that is super cool. So let's learn a little bit more about book clubs in this article.
Book clubs are on the rise. However, they aren't the traditional ones in people's homes. Modern book clubs take place in public spaces like coffee shops.
And welcome back to part 1 of the book clubs of today.
So today we're talking about book clubs.
Yeah.
So a book club is a club with books. So a club is usually something that someone can join or belong to, and usually with many people. And usually a club has to have an interest that they have in common, something that they do together or like to talk about together. And in this case, that topic is books.
Yes. So usually you would all read the same book and gather to talk about it, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Right, let's find out more. Book clubs are on the rise. Okay, so this phrase here, on the rise. On the rise means becoming more and more popular. So we can think of their popularity is rising or increasing. It means that they're getting more popular, more people are doing it, more people are joining book clubs, means that they are on the rise.
Yes, that's true. I have a few friends that are actually in book clubs. Okay, so continuing. However, they aren't the traditional ones in people's homes. So traditional is an adjective, and it means something that has been done in the same way for a long time. So for example, they celebrated the holiday with a traditional family dinner. Okay, so they said that it's not the traditional one like in families' homes or at home. So I'm guessing there's a difference now. Traditional being at home. What about now?
Well, modern book clubs take place in public spaces like coffee shops.
Oh, interesting. So maybe before they used to do it more at homes, right?
I guess so, yes. I remember, when I was in high school, my mom was a member of a book club.
Okay.
And every so often, she would have to host the book club meeting, and it would be at our home.
Yeah.
And I found it very annoying because many of my mom's friends and other older women who I didn't know were in our house having basically a party. I don't know how much they were actually talking about the book. But my mom would always like make food that's like themed for the topic of the book.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so she would try and, if it was like a book that took place in Japan, she would try and make some Japanese dishes to go with that.
That
book
is
club
super
meeting.
cool. Okay, kind of like in movies, you see that happening. All right, so nowadays they happen in public spaces. Public means something that is open to everyone and not private. So for example, The city built a new public park for everyone to enjoy. Okay, so I guess the benefits of having a book club meeting in public would mean maybe they don't have to prepare all these things like when your mom hosts, right?
Yeah, it's a lot easier, I guess, to join and be a part of a book club if you don't have to worry about having the space in your apartment to host. Maybe you have roommates, maybe you just don't have enough space. And maybe you're not a good cook, so you don't want to prepare food for everyone. So it's a lot easier and simple to join one that would meet somewhere public, like a coffee shop.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so let's learn a little bit more about it after this break.
Members of the book clubs meet to talk about one common book. They can also talk about their favorite books. These talks often lead to talks about things in their lives. Members like that. It lets them connect with others. Many of them couldn't do that during COVID-19. Thanks to book clubs, they can be around people again.
Welcome back. We are talking about book clubs. So before the break, we talked about how book clubs are on the rise. So they're becoming more popular. And that these new book clubs aren't the traditional ones in your home, but many of these new ones meet in public places such as coffee shops.
Yes, so continuing, let's learn a little bit more about what people do in book clubs. Members of the book clubs meet to talk about one common book. They can also talk about their favorite books. Okay, so usually I guess people will say, this time let's all read this book and next time we can talk about it, right? Okay.
Right, so they mentioned talking about their favorite books. I talked about my favorite book in the intro.
Yeah.
What is your favorite book?
I think when I was younger, I would read more novels. So I really enjoyed the Hunger Games series.
Okay.
Yes, and I actually watched the first movie before I read the book, and then I decided to read the book, and after that, I read the rest of the series, and I really enjoyed it. And it got me even more excited for the actual movies coming out.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so I think it would definitely be fun to talk to someone who also read the book and share that excitement.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I've never been in a book club.
Okay, so you were not a member of a book club.
I wasn't.
Okay, so a member is a person or animal or thing, or no, person or animal, not really things, that belong to a certain group.
Yeah.
So this can be because you signed up or joined something, or maybe you paid to belong to something, or it can be just something you're born with. Like I expect you are probably a member of the human race, meaning you are a human, you are just part of that group, you are therefore a member.
Yes, you can also say that, for example, I am a member of this gym, and there's another word called membership. So you can have a membership at a gym.
The noun would be a membership. So if you are a member and usually if you join something like a gym or maybe points at the convenience store, then you will have a membership if you are a member.
Yes. So the word favorite is something you like the most. So I can say my favorite food is steak and potatoes. Or another example would be her favorite color is blue.
These talks often lead to talks about things in their lives.
Okay.
So they're having a talk. A talk, in this case, is the noun. So it is not the verb that we can say he talks, she talks, but to have a talk. So a talk is an event of people talking to each other or people discussing. It can also be just one person talking to a group of people. Could also be a talk, like a person giving a speech. So in this case, they are having talks about books, that lead to talks about their lives. So when they're talking about something interesting about the story, it might connect with something in their own lives and that they can share with others and connect with people better.
Yeah, they can also maybe agree or disagree with things in the book, and that will give the people more things to talk about. Okay, so members like that. It lets them connect with others. Yeah, so not only do you have that in common, reading the same book, but also maybe things inside the book can relate to you and relate to your life. So you can connect with others. Connect is to join or link things together. So in this case, it would be connecting to each other's lives. For example, he used a cable to connect his computer to the internet. And in this case, is more physical connection, right?
Many of them couldn't do that during COVID-19. I mean, they couldn't connect with others or they couldn't meet with other people. Thanks to book clubs, they can be around people again.
Okay, so the book clubs are bringing people together.
Yeah, so I guess it's helping people to, be closer with the friends they already have, or even to make new friends around a shared topic like a book.
Indeed. Okay, so that's it for this part, and we'll learn a little bit more about it next time. We'll see you then.
Book clubs are on the rise. However, they aren't the traditional ones in people's homes. Modern book clubs take place in public spaces like coffee shops. Members of the book clubs meet to talk about one common book. They can also talk about their favorite books. These talks often lead to talks about things in their lives. Members like that. It lets them connect with others. Many of them couldn't do that during COVID-19. Thanks to book clubs, they can be around people again.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 public 形容词，公共的、公众的。The public baths are crowded. 公共澡堂挤满了人。下一个单字 member 名词，会员、成员。There are 50 members in this club. 这间俱乐部有50个会员。下一个单字 favorite 形容词，最喜爱的。Yellow is my favorite color. 黄色是我最喜爱的颜色。下一个单字 talk 名词，交谈、对话。The teacher had a talk with Gina this morning. 今天早上老师找 Gina 谈话。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 on the rise 增加、上升。Rise 在这里是一个名词的用法。我们来看看这个例句。The price of flour is on the rise. 面粉的价格正在上升。下一个文法 lead to 引起、导致。Lead 是带领的意思。三态式 lead, led, led。我们来看看这个例句。My lack of exercise led to weight gain. 我缺乏运动导致体重增加。最后一个文法Thanks to 加名词，多亏由于什么事情。Thanks 是名词，意思是感谢，在这里横用复数形式哦。我们来看看这个例句。Thanks to the good weather, we had a wonderful picnic in the park. 多亏好天气，我们在公园里有个愉快的野餐。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
Oh, it's starting to get really chilly.
Oh, yeah, but in the morning it was very hot. But you know what? You need a shacket.
A shacket? What's a shacket?
It's a portmanteau, and it means a shirt, kind of like a jacket mixture thing.
So a shirt jacket. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're working on portmanteaus today.
It's time for some portmanteaus. Okay, cosplay. What are the 2 words that make up?
Costume play.
What are
Costume player, right? Like costume
Okay, very good. Costume and
and maybe costume.
very good. Costume and play. So
Good
costume
job.
play. Very good. Motel.
Oh, motorcycle hotel.
Moto and hotel. Hotel.
Uh-huh.
Hotel?
Yeah.
Motel, hotel.
Very. She got it. You're the first one. Motor hotel. Very good, because then you can drive your car, park your car. What have we learned today? Let's work on some portmanteaus. A portmanteau is when you take one word, combine it with another to create a new word. So our first one is cosplay. That's costume and role play. So cosplay is very different from, say, Halloween time when you dress up as something. Cosplay, you look at a specific character and you want to recreate their look as best as you can. So, for example, you would say, what are you going to cosplay as for the convention? Our second one is motel. So that's when you take motor, combine it with hotel to make motel. It's different from a hotel because a motel room will have a space where you can park your car. So, for example, you could say, if you are tired, pull over to a motel. That's all we have for today. KiWi later.